Today I'm going to show you the easiest way to make homemade hot dog buns. These are New England style hot dog buns and they are delicious. My goal is to never have to buy any breads from the grocery store, and I haven't for about 20 years. Knowing how to make my own hot dog buns like these really helps me accomplish my goal. Plus, these are 100 times better than anything you can buy at the grocery store. To get started on these really yummy hot dog buns, I'm going to start with 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm milk. You want this to be about 100 to 110 degrees. And after our milk, then we want a 1/4 cup of lukewarm water. You also want this to be about 100 to 110 degrees. That's going to be perfect for your yeast. Now, after we've added the milk and water, now it's time to add some melted butter. I'm adding 6 tablespoons of melted butter. I melted this on my stovetop in my cast iron melting pot. I love this melting pot. Now, after the butter, now it's time for some sugar. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of sugar. But if you want to, in this recipe, it's fine if you want to decrease your sugar down to about 2 teaspoons. That'll work just fine too. You can also use honey, maple syrup, brown sugar. You have lots of options. Next, I'm going to add the flour. I'm going to use 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I like all-purpose flour better in this recipe than bread flour. It's going to give us softer hot dog buns. But if you want to use bread flour, you can do that too. You might need to add about a 1/4 cup more water because the bread flour absorbs the liquids more. Next, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of potato flakes. These are dried potato flakes. This is different than potato flour, but if you have potato flour, you can use a 1/4 cup of potato flour. But I'm using 1/2 cup of these instant mashed potatoes or dried potato flakes. These are straight out of my food storage. These are the Augustin Farms instant mashed potatoes. This helps our buns be really fluffy and absolutely delicious. Now it's time for some salt. I love using this Redmond's real salt, and I use it in all of my baking. I'm going to use 1 1/4 teaspoons of this salt. Hopefully you can see what a pretty color it is. Definitely don't measure it over your mixing bowl so that you don't over pour your salt in and then ruin this recipe. Your hot dog buns need some salt, but not too much salt. After our salt, now it's time to add the yeast. I'm going to use this Saf Instant yeast. This is a big 1-pound package of this Saf Instant yeast. I buy it in bulk like this. I keep it in the freezer and I get it out right in time to make bread, and it stays fresh forever that way. I'm using 2 1/4 teaspoons of this instant yeast. If you happen to buy it in those little packets, then that's 1 packet. But I don't recommend buying it like that because you're going to spend way too much money on your yeast. Buy it in bulk like this and you'll save lots of money and be able to bake lots of bread. I'm making these hot dog buns using my Zacme mixer. One of my favorite things about this mixer is I can set a timer, turn it on, and it'll stop mixing at the end of the time. I love that. It also has this really awesome light that shines down into the bowl. It's the little things, and I think that's cool. Now, I'm going to let all of these ingredients mix up, and then I'm going to check on my ball of dough, make sure it doesn't need any flour or water, and I'll show you exactly what it should look like after I've let this mix up for about a minute. My dough is looking really good. I just have this going on speed 1 just to get it mixed together. It doesn't look too wet, it doesn't look too dry, so I'm going to turn this up to speed 2 and let it continue kneading for a total of 7 minutes. 7 minutes is up. This mixer has been kneading my dough and it's looking really, really good. Now I'm going to cover up this dough with a warm wet tea towel, and I'm going to leave it on the counter to rise for about an hour. Here is my hot dog bun pan by USA Bakeware. It is a nice pan. It's so heavy duty and high quality. I just really, really like it. Now, I am absolutely terrible at shaping hot dog buns. They always look ridiculous. They don't look right. They look just amateur. So this pan has really helped. Now there's 2 different ways that you can use this pan. You can either just press your dough into it, or you can individually roll them. And as they rise and expand, then they'll kind of grow together and you'll get that real authentic pull apart hot dog bun out of these. Here is the dough for my hot dog buns. This has been rising for about an hour and I'm ready to turn it out, press it out, and to make it into hot dog buns. And I am just gonna kind of press out this dough, and I want it to be about as wide as my pan and as long as my pan. So the first way that you can use this pan is that you can just press the dough into it. And the other way is to individually roll them and then stick them in here. But first way I'm gonna do it is just to press it into this pan. That is the easiest way. So I'm gonna use my rolling pin and just kind of roll this out to about the right length, and then I'll press it into my pan. There we go. Now I'm just gonna kind of stretch it and press it into the pan. And I'm definitely gonna press down a little bit so it gets into all those little crevices at the bottom, all those little grooves, so that it's the right shape. And to me, this is so much easier than rolling out each hot dog bun. So I really like this method and this pan for this reason. All right, that's looking good. It looks like it's filling the pan pretty well. And now it's time to let this dough rise. I'm gonna let it rise for about 30 minutes, and then it'll be time to stick it in the oven. My dough for my hot dog buns has been rising for about 30 minutes, and it's looking good. I covered it with some plastic wrap so it wouldn't dry out. Now, I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees, and I'm gonna put this in there for 18 minutes. But I'm gonna do something kind of weird. I'm gonna cover it with my heavy cast iron cookie sheet. This is how I'm gonna bake it. I'll show it to you in about 18 minutes. All right, I let these bake at 375 degrees for 18 minutes with that pan on top. Oh, they just popped right on out. No sticking whatsoever, and I didn't grease them up or oil them or anything. Look at these. These are so cool. Okay, these are nice and hot, so I should let them cool for a little bit, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut one and we will check it out. Now these are New England style hot dog buns, which means they're the split top kind. So really, you're supposed to cut it right here, put your hot dog in right there, but really you can do it this way too. I think I might try it both ways. I'm kind of more inclined to do it this way. And then your hot dog just goes right on in there. Now let me show you something. I was at a potluck the other day and I stole this one little leftover hot dog bun just to compare it. Look at this poor little hot dog bun. It looks pathetic. So it's cut like this. So the size is just about the same. This one's a lot more puny actually. This one's bigger. But this looks good. Now, I smelled this one and it smells really gross to me. But these smell good. Homemade hot dog buns. Pretty cool. Because of the shape of these New England style hot dog buns, they're really easy to butter up and to grill or to toast on each side. You can get a really fantastic hot dog that way. These are also perfect for lobster rolls. If you've ever had a lobster roll, you know how delicious that is. And I've also used these buns for fried shrimp po' boys. Here's one of our homemade hot dog buns dressed up with a jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage. Now, doesn't that look good? Which would you rather eat? One of these or one of these? We've all eaten these and we know that these don't taste very good, but this tastes really good. Another thing to consider is this ingredient list. Look at all of those ingredients. I don't even know why all that stuff is in there. I'm sure that you could leave this in your pantry for months and months and they wouldn't mold or do anything. But who wants to eat this? I don't. I know exactly what is in these homemade hot dog buns. And I would way prefer to feed my family these than these. This is what I store my breads in. If you're looking for a healthy alternative to plastic bags, check out our handmade beeswax bread bags. You can find these beeswax bread bags and the printable recipe for these hot dog buns on robynonthefarm.com. Thanks so much for being here with me on Robyn on the Farm. I'll see you next time.
Robyn's in the kitchen, dough beneath her hands, wheat from the fields and eggs from her land. Sunlight through the window, a warm golden glow. She's working hard to make that dough. With flour on her apron, loving